Hi everyone, and welcome back to Mamelody. Today, we're making one of the best first foods for babies starting solids, sweet potato puree. This is a game changer for so many parents. Why? Because sweet potatoes are naturally sweet, super gentle on tiny tummies, and absolutely packed with powerful nutrients that help your baby grow strong and healthy. Introducing solids at around 6 months is such a huge milestone in your baby's development. It's not just about filling their belly. It supports their healthy growth, strengthens their immune system, improves digestion, and helps them explore a whole new world of tastes and textures. And sweet potato puree is the perfect place to start. It's smooth, it's comforting, and it's full of goodness for your little one's body and brain. Let's talk about just how amazing sweet potatoes are for your baby. They are a true nutritional powerhouse. First off, they're rich in vitamin A, which is crucial for supporting vision, immune health, and skin development. They also contain fiber, which keeps their digestion gentle and regular, and vitamin C, for a strong immune system. Plus, they're packed with complex carbohydrates, giving your baby that natural, sustained energy they need to explore and play. Beyond that, sweet potatoes also support brain development and healthy gut function. When you make it at home, you have total control. That means no preservatives, no additives, no added sugar, and no salt. It's just pure, natural nutrition. Honestly, homemade is always fresher, safer, and so much healthier than the stuff you find in jars or pouches at the store. You know exactly what's going into your baby's body. Alright, so what do you need to make this super puree? The good news is, you probably have most of this in your kitchen already. You'll need a blender or a food processor to get that silky smooth texture. You'll also need a steamer or just a regular pot, a knife and chopping board, a spoon, and some baby bowls. For storage, I highly recommend getting some ice cube trays and airtight containers. A couple of optional tools that can make life easier are a simple hand masher if you prefer a slightly thicker texture, or a sieve to strain out any lumps. And of course, you'll need some baby-friendly utensils for feeding time. Now for the star of the show, the ingredients. It couldn't be simpler. All you really need is one fresh sweet potato. That's it. You can also have some water, breast milk, or formula on hand to adjust the texture later on. When you're picking your sweet potato at the store, look for one that's firm and smooth, without any bruises, soft spots, or mold. And a very important tip: always wash it thoroughly and peel the skin before you start cooking to make sure it's perfectly safe and clean for your baby. Ready to cook? Let's make this sweet potato puree step by step. First, wash, peel, and chop your sweet potato into small, even cubes. The smaller you chop them, the faster they'll cook. Next, it's time to cook them until they're super soft. You can either steam them or boil them in a pot of water. This should take about 10 to 12 minutes. The key is to make sure you can easily pierce them with a fork. They should be falling apart, completely tender. Once they're cooked, transfer the soft sweet potato cubes into your blender or a bowl. Now, blend or mash until it's completely smooth. We want 0 lumps for a new eater. This next step is all about getting the perfect consistency. Add small amounts of water, breast milk, or formula to the puree. Mix it in little by little until you get a smooth, swallow-safe texture. For a 6-month-old, you want it to be thin enough to easily run off a spoon. Finally, let the puree cool down to a lukewarm, safe feeding temperature before serving it to your little one. And here's a great optional step for busy parents. Spoon the extra puree into ice cube trays and pop them in the freezer. Once they're frozen solid, you can transfer the cubes into labeled freezer bags for easy, ready-to-go future meals. So, how much should you give your baby? For a 6-month-old just starting solids, a good starting point is about 1 to 2 tablespoons per meal, once or twice a day. But the most important thing is to watch your baby's hunger cues. If they're opening their mouth wide, leaning forward toward the spoon, or getting excited, they're probably ready for more. On the other hand, if they start turning their head away, closing their mouth tight, or pushing the spoon away, those are fullness cues. They're telling you they've had enough. Always follow your baby's pace. Feeding should be a calm, gentle, and joyful experience for both of you. Let's quickly cover safety and storage, because this is really important. You can store fresh, sweet potato puree in an airtight container in the refrigerator for up to 48 hours. In the freezer, it'll last for about 1 to 2 weeks in those handy little cubes. When you're ready to use the frozen puree, reheat it thoroughly. I like to warm it in the microwave or on the stovetop. Make sure you stir it well to get rid of any hot spots, and always test the temperature on the inside of your wrist before feeding. It should feel lukewarm, not hot. Be on the lookout for signs of if it has a sour smell, you see any mold, or the color looks off, discard it immediately. When in doubt, throw it out. And to prevent choking, especially for a new eater, always keep the texture super smooth and operate. A final safety tip. When introducing new foods, go one at a time. Introduce sweet potato, then wait 3 to 5 days before you introduce another new food. This helps you safely monitor for any potential allergies or reactions. Now for some extra tips and tricks to make mealtime even better. As your baby gets used to sweet potato, you can start mixing it with other safe first foods, like apple, pear, carrot, or pumpkin puree. This is a fantastic way to introduce new flavors. Also, try to make meals visually appealing. The bright orange color of sweet potato is already a great start. As your baby grows and gets more comfortable with eating, you can gradually make the texture a little thicker. This encourages them to practice their chewing skills and even start trying to self-feed with a spoon. And here's my favorite tip for busy parents. Batch cook and freeze. Seriously, making a big batch of puree and freezing it in ice cube trays is a lifesaver. It saves so much time and makes mealtime easy and completely stress-free. And that's it. A simple, nutritious, and absolutely delicious homemade sweet potato puree for your 6-month-old baby. This amazing first food supports their digestion, immunity, brain development, vision, and healthy growth all in one single spoonful. I really hope you'll try making this safely at home. Enjoy this special feeding stage and focus on making mealtime a loving, bonding moment with your baby. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please don't forget to give it a like. Leave a comment, share it with another parent, and subscribe for more healthy baby food ideas and feeding tips. Happy feeding, and I'll see you in the next video.